Hey guys, Dominic here. The videos are helping, I hope, so hit subscribe. Today we're going to go through fixing anterior pelvic tilt or tight thighs and hip flexors. You should be able to do that. You should be able to just basically pick your foot up. If it's really, really bad, you're going to end up like this, where you're barely able to pick your leg up and everything is so tight. It means that the pelvis totally pulled forwards. It should be locked back in that position. You should be able to just put your foot on your bum. So it means your thighs are really, really tight and your core is probably weak as well. Next way of assessing that would be to bring your back foot up against your bum on a bench. You'll notice the difference between the knee is really far back and the front foot is really far in front. You should be able to bring it onto your bum. Do some contractions by squeezing your thighs and your glutes until you can eventually get your foot to your bum. So obviously step one is do it in a standing position. If you pass that test, do it onto a bench here. Your front foot should be well out in front, not underneath you. And then a third test in that thigh stretch and thigh assessment position is to just do it as a couch stretch against the wall. So I get my shin up against the wall, knee is as flush to the wall as it can possibly go, and my shoulder should touch the wall. This is where we ideally should be. So the degree to which you cannot pass this third test tells you how bad your thighs and hip flexors are. If your knee has to be a little bit further away from the wall to begin with, then that's fine, but work your way to an upright position. So obviously we need to massage out and do some soft tissue work on the thighs. So I can take my foam roll here, jump it down on the ground and roll the bejesus out of my thighs, because obviously they're so tight, they're pulling that hip flexor and quads. Everything is pulling on the front of that pelvis, pulling that pelvis forwards into an anterior tilt position. That is then going to ask your back to do a job it's not designed for, so you need to really work on massaging out the thighs, and we can do that in a number of different ways. One, I could just use my foam roll, get in at different angles. Two, I could get myself a wooden dowel. I just picked this up in a hardware shop and it's about €12, and I can massage out my thighs with that. That's just a shovel handle. I can then use a little ball. I picked this up on Amazon. I like the height of the ball because it allows me to really get in on specific areas of my quads, especially up at the top, up by that hip flexor, and around certain aspects around the side of my thighs then as well. All those three different methods will help. It will make the thighs a little bit looser, so when I go and reassess my position against the wall or on a bench or whatever variation I can do, it'll put me into better positions. The next big step and key to fixing what's going on with the hips is core work, is that we need the core to get a little bit stronger to pull that pelvis back. I can start on the floor, making sure the lower part of my back is always on the floor. I should never, ever, ever have an excessive arch. This is bad, bad, bad. Press the lower part of the back into the floor. Lower your legs as low as you can. That's called a hollow hold. I have videos on that. We want to get out of that anterior tilt, pull the pelvis back, so you can see why we're doing that in these different positions. Plank, no, 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 booty out. And we want that booty tucked under in that position. That is the correct position. If that's easy, we then go up onto a toes pointed plank. That'll be a little bit more challenging. No, 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 do not do that. Pull the pelvis under in that position. So again, on that last part, we're working on soft tissue work, and then we're working on getting to this position, and then working on the core then as well. So ultimately, it should lead to then getting into a better looking couch stretch where we can get to shoulders against the wall, and that will show us what's going on at the hips. The degree to which you can or can't pass that test tells us everything.